Once you've created all of your master files or master tables inside your new master database, you're going to want to set up the relationship graph so that it resembles the one from the original file. So if we look over here on the original file, and this is of course on the Mac side, you can see that when looking at the people table or people file, that each one of our relationships or table occurrences has been renamed. What we need to do now is bring these table occurrences over to our master file and make sure that these names are the same exact names as was used in the original. So we'll look over here at the new master file where we have brought in all of our created all of our master tables. Now you'll notice in this particular example that these actually have fields, and that's because I didn't save a copy of the database after I'd created these tables and before I'd brought in the fields. So I apologize for that, but just ignore the fields for now because those get added later on. But what we're going to do is we're going to replicate this structure that we have here. So we've got all of these table occurrences that all connect up to our master table, and we need to recreate all of these without the connections. So let's do that next. So the first thing to do is to select everything in your table and just move it down and out of the way. In fact, let's make some room here. I'm going to just open this thing wide up so that we can see what we're doing here as we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the first master table in the graph and I'm going to position it where I have some room to work. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back and forth between the Mac version and the PC version, and I'm going to start on the first one of these table occurrences here. And you'll notice the naming convention, PEO to FOU, meaning that it's going from the people file to found sets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the name of that table occurrence. I'm going to jump back over here, and I'm going to use this button down here where I'm going to create a new table occurrence. And this one is going to go to the found set, so I'll select that, and then I'll paste in the name that I copied from the Mac side and create that. And I'll also collapse the window for the time being and just bring it over here and position it somewhere where I can use it. And then I'll go back over here to the Mac side. I'll go to the next one in the set, which is this one here. Copy the name. It's using user data. So I'll come down here and I'll create another one. This one uses user data. I'll paste in the name, create that, collapse the window, bring it up and position it under this one. I'm going to go back and forth and do this now for each one of these, including this one here, all of these which are actually self-relationships. So they're all going from people to people. So I will create this one here just the same way as I did before by copying the name, jumping back over here, and choosing the people file, pasting that name in, and I will continue to do this process now for all of the relationships in the first file, and then I will do that for all the relationships that came from the other files in this solution, so that when we're done we'll end up with something that looks more like this. Here you'll notice that I've reorganized everything and basically laid the groundwork so that when FM Robot comes in and wants to connect each one of these table occurrences up to its relative master table, that it has everything that it needs so that it can go in and do the work. And I organize things so that they make some sense visually. These ones down here, just so you know, are ones that do not actually have any relationships established. So I separated those out, and this is the beginning of what we're going to use with FM Robot when we connect up these relationships in a future step. Now let's go ahead and move on to our next step.